For centuries, humanity has stared into the cosmos, wondering if we were alone. We've sent radio pulses into the void, scanned for anomalies, dreamed of distant civilizations. And now, we may have found them, not out there in the stars, but here, at our doorstep. What began as a routine observation of an obscure interstellar object, catalogued as 3I, Atlas, has become the most chilling astronomical discovery in history. It wasn't the object's path, its speed, or even its silence that unsettled scientists. It was what came from inside it. The James Webb Space Telescope, orbiting 1 million miles from Earth, detected something no comet should possess: heat. Not from sunlight, but from deep within, pulsing outward in waves. Irregular, yet rhythmic. Almost as if the object were breathing. The scientific community quietly dropped the word comet. Behind closed doors, some began calling it the visitor. Then came the signal. Radio telescopes, once dismissing the static around Atlas as background noise, discovered a repeating pattern buried in the haze. Not the beat of a pulsar, not cosmic radiation, but structured pulses, ordered, deliberate. A broadcast. And stranger still, the signal changed in response to solar winds and coordinated scans from Earth. It wasn't random. It was aware. For weeks, Atlas drifted silently. Then, in a span of 2 minutes, it erupted. Its brightness surged by 40% in a perfectly symmetrical flare, accompanied by a thermal spike, like a system activating. Immediately afterward, Atlas altered course. Objects in space do not steer. Yet Atlas corrected its trajectory with surgical precision, veering closer to Earth's orbital plane. Not on a collision path, but close enough to be noticed. Close enough to send a message. Webb's data revealed something even more disturbing. The electromagnetic oscillations at Atlas's core matched patterns seen only in living systems, cycles nearly identical to microbial respiration. But Atlas wasn't biological. It was something else. Something built to imitate life. And then, as if realizing it had been exposed, it went silent. No pulses, no heat, no signature at all. For 6 hours, the most powerful instruments on Earth stared into nothing. A silence too perfect to be accidental. When Atlas reawakened, it was brighter than ever. But embedded within its signal was something that left scientists shaken. A replay of an old Earth transmission, an analog telemetry stream from 1983. Atlas had been listening, recording, and now, answering. Webb soon captured fragments in Atlas's dust trail. Not random rock and ice, but engineered alloys, ultra-pure metals arranged in patterns resembling experimental AI circuitry. It was shedding parts, like a machine breaking down mid-mission. And then, the final revelation. Observatories detected an anomaly above the Moon, a thin ionized layer, created by a beam of charged particles fired from Atlas, reflected off the lunar surface and directed toward Earth. Not an accident. A calibration. A handshake. And without realizing it, Earth responded, our satellites bouncing the signal back into the void. We weren't just observers. We were participants. Piece by piece, the truth became undeniable. Atlas wasn't a comet, or a rock, or a wandering relic. It was a machine, living, intelligent, and ancient, built not to destroy, but to be seen. It glowed when we watched. It flared when we probed. It silenced itself to test our patience. It mimicked biology, replayed our broadcasts, discarded engineered materials, and finally, forced us into a dialogue we never intended. Maybe the message isn't hidden in the signals or the debris. Maybe the message is Atlas itself, a device designed to study, to adapt, to measure our readiness. Because from the moment it entered our skies, we thought we were the observers. But what if the truth is darker? What if 3I Atlas came not to be discovered, but to discover us? And as it now drifts away, mission complete, we're left with one chilling realization. We didn't just find something alive. Something alive found us.